Welcome to my channel. Before we start, please take a moment to subscribe for more amazing stories like this one. Today, I'm going to share with you a tale that is close to my heart. A tale that begins with heartbreak and ends with an unexpected twist of fate. This story is about a man just like any one of us, who found himself at a crossroads in life. He was just 30, had just come out of a painful divorce, and was searching for a way to heal his broken heart. His life was at a standstill, his dreams shattered, and his future uncertain. But as he stood at this juncture, a friend suggested a trip to Patea, a place he knew nothing about, a place that held the promise of healing and a fresh start. And so, with a heavy heart, he decided to take that leap of faith. He packed his bags, boarded a plane, and set off on a journey into the unknown. This is his story, a story of heartbreak, healing, and the unexpected twists and turns that life can throw at us. So, join me as we embark on this journey together, from the heartbroken beginnings to the surprising end. And remember, sometimes all it takes is a leap of faith to change the course of our lives. Our tale begins in the aftermath of a shattered heart. The year was 1998, and I found myself in the throes of a painful divorce. My ex-wife and I, having tied the knot at the tender age of 23, had been together for 7 years. But as I approached my 30th birthday, our once vibrant relationship had disintegrated into hurt feelings and legal paperwork. In the wake of this heartache, I was a man adrift. I had been in love, truly and deeply, and now that love was gone, the world felt colder, harsher, and a little less full of possibility. I was lost in a sea of confusion, hurt, and regret. It was during this tumultuous time that a friend suggested I take a trip to Patea. Go forget your problems for a while, he urged. He painted a picture of sun-drenched beaches, friendly locals, and a nightlife that promised to be a welcome distraction from the heartache I was nursing back home. He assured me that the intention was not for me to fall in love again or start a new relationship. Rather, the idea was to take some time for myself, to heal, and maybe find a bit of joy amidst the pain. So, with a deep breath and a leap of faith, I decided to give it a go. I packed my bags, leaving behind the remnants of a life that was no longer mine. I boarded a plane, my heart heavy with the weight of what I had lost, but also tinged with a flicker of hope for what could be. I knew nothing of what awaited me in Patea. I had no expectations, no plans, and certainly no idea that my life was about to change in ways I could never have imagined. As my plane took off, I looked out the window, watching as the city I had called home for so long disappeared beneath the clouds. And so, with a heavy heart and no expectations, I boarded the plane to Patea. Little did I know, this journey would lead me to a love story unlike any other. Patea, a place of sweltering heat and captivating beauty, was where I first met Nanny. The landscape was as alluring as her, a perfect backdrop to our story's beginning. I remember the day vividly. Her radiant smile and twinkling eyes caught my attention amidst the bustling crowd. We just clicked, like two pieces of a puzzle fitting perfectly together. It was as if we had known each other for years. As the sun set, we found ourselves lost in conversation. Her laughter echoed along the beach, blending with the rhythmic hum of the waves. We shared stories, dreams, and even silence, all the while creating a bond that felt inexplicably right. Nanny didn't ask for anything but my company, and that sincerity was a breath of fresh air. As days turned into nights, I found myself drawn to her like a moth to a flame. Despite the warnings, I was captivated by her charm and sincerity. That first magical night was followed by a leap of faith. As the sun rose on a new day in Patea, I woke up to an empty bed and a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I thought I had become another statistic in the game of love and loss. But as I scoured the room, my eyes landed on a piece of paper with her handwriting, a note, simple yet powerful, asking me to meet her at her place. In the heat of the moment, my mind was buzzing with 1,000 thoughts. Fear, suspicion, and a tinge of excitement were all vying for attention. But amidst the chaos, there was a peculiar calmness, a feeling that perhaps this was different, that she was different. As the day unfolded, I found myself standing outside her apartment, the note clenched tightly in my hand. It was a simple dwelling, far removed from the glitz and glamour of the nightlife she was a part of, but it was a home, warm and inviting. Stepping into her world was like stepping into the unknown. I was a stranger in her life, just as she was in mine. But in that moment, as I crossed the threshold, I made a decision to take a leap of faith, to give a chance to the unfamiliar warmth that was slowly enveloping me. The evening that followed was one of laughter and comfort. We shared stories, dreams, and fears. We let down our guards and allowed ourselves to be vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, I found a connection, a bond that felt real and genuine. Looking back, I realized it was a risk that could have ended in heartbreak and disappointment. But sometimes life is about taking those risks, about jumping into the unknown with a hopeful heart. It's about trusting your instincts, even when logic tells you otherwise. A risk taken on an instinct, a chance given to an unfamiliar warmth. That's what it was, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Before we move on, if you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. Now back to our tale. As the sun set on another day, I found myself at a crossroads between the woman I had met in the bar and the woman I was getting to know. There was a gap filled with unspoken words and guarded secrets. But as the night grew darker and the stars brighter, something changed. We sat on her small balcony, her head resting on my shoulder. The silence was comforting, punctuated only by the distant hum of the city. Slowly, she began to speak. She spoke about her past, her dreams, her fears. Each word was a revelation, a piece in the puzzle that was Nanny. I listened, not just with my ears, but with my heart. As the night gave way to the dawn, we had crossed the bridge of understanding, of acceptance. We were no longer strangers, but two people who had shared a piece of their souls. It was in this moment that I felt a connection, a bond that was stronger than any I had felt before. It wasn't just about the attraction anymore, it was about the understanding her dreams, her struggles, her strength. And as the sun rose on a new day, I knew that this was just the beginning, a beginning of a journey that was going to change my life forever. As days turned into weeks, the layers of Nanny's life unfolded. Each layer revealed a different facet of her character, a different chapter of her story. My curiosity piqued as I delved deeper into her world. Nanny, it turned out, was more than just a bar girl. She was a survivor, a dreamer, a woman of substance. Nanny grew up in a small village in the northeastern part of Thailand, a region known as Isan. Life there was hard and opportunities were few. Her family was poor and she had to leave school at a young age to help her parents. Nanny's path to the bars of Patea was not one of choice, but of necessity. She was driven by the hope of a better life, not just for herself, but for her entire family. Her honesty was disarming. She did not shy away from her past, but rather embraced it as part of her journey. She spoke openly about the hardships she had endured, the choices she had made, and the dreams she was trying to realize. It was her resilience that struck me the most. The way she stood tall despite the blows life had dealt her. Nanny was not just about surviving, she was about thriving. She had dreams of owning a small business, of giving her parents a comfortable life, of providing an education for her younger siblings. She was working towards these dreams, one day at a time, one customer at a time. Getting to know Nanny on this deeper level was an eye-opening experience. It shattered any preconceived notions I had about bar girls. Nanny was not a stereotype. She was a unique individual with her own set of dreams and struggles. Her story, her strength, her dreams, they all tugged at my heartstrings. I was falling in love with Nanny, not just for who she was, but for who she wanted to be. And as I fell, I could only hope that she was falling too. Love, they say, is a leap of faith, and leap I did. I proposed to Nanny one evening on the beach, the same place where we had first met. She was taken aback, her eyes sparkling with surprise and joy. She accepted, and we were soon engaged. Our journey was not without its hurdles. Soon after our engagement, we were confronted with challenges that tested our resolve. Nanny's sister was battling an addiction, and her health was deteriorating. It was a painful chapter in our lives, but it brought us closer. We stood together, supporting each other, providing the strength we both needed to face these trials. There were doubts too, from people who couldn't see past the stereotype of a bar girl marrying a foreigner. But we chose to ignore the whispers and the sideways glances. We knew our love was real, and that's all that mattered. Even when the going got tough, even when the odds seemed stacked against us, we held on. We held on to our love and to each other. Every challenge we faced, every hurdle we overcame, it only made our bond stronger. We learned to lean on each other, to trust each other implicitly, because that's what love is, isn't it? It's about standing together come what may. Through trials and tribulations, we held on, our bond growing stronger each day. Fast forward to today, love has indeed conquered all. Nanny and I are living the dream we once thought was impossible. We're blissfully married, sharing our lives, our hopes, our dreams. We've been blessed with two beautiful, vibrant children who fill our home with laughter and joy. They're the perfect amalgamation of our love, our story. My life has changed in ways I could never have imagined. I found happiness, peace, and a sense of belonging with Nanny and our children. Our love story, though unconventional, has been a journey of self-discovery, understanding, and unyielding love. We've faced trials and tribulations, but together, we've overcome them all. Our love has only grown stronger, richer with time. Nanny is not just my wife, she's my partner, my confidant, my rock. Taking a chance on love was, without a doubt, the best decision of my life. And so, I share my tale, a tale of love found in an unexpected place. Don't let stereotypes or preconceptions dictate your heart. Each relationship is as unique as the individuals within it, and every love story has its own rhythm and rhyme. Be open, be brave, take chances. You never know where the journey of love may lead you. Remember, love knows no boundaries. Thank you for listening to my story.